So the first thing I do is I close my eyes so that I can focus. I breathe. I become aware of the light that's in the air, that's all around me, that makes up my body, my form, the air that I breathe. I ground. When I used to channel, I used to rush this part. And so I now attempt to have more patience with the grounding process. I really appreciate and find beauty in how the guides and divinity communicate with us that it's so important to ground so that we are stable, but also so that we're bringing this divine light and energy into the earth and connecting with earth heart center. And from there, it goes out in every direction through everything existing physically, um, in the physical realm on the planet, and it benefits her. She needs this drastically, and all the living things need this as well. By every living thing, we literally mean everything, like it's um, the rocks, the soil, the bacterium, fungi, plants, everything, um, humans. So it's not just what science deems as livable, but metaphysically what is considered livable, which is all existence for all is made out of divine essence and light and sound. Same stuff, same material. Okay, so I do that. So that aids me. It's like a grounding rod that people have on their houses, on buildings and antenna and stuff, so that to prevent from damage in a lightning strike. So same sort of thing. And then from there, I consciously expand outward and upward through me. When my kids were little, we did a meditation every day, in the evening time, or if they were unsettled, called the tree. And divinity taught this to me. Um, we go through the grounding process, much in the way that they often lead, and the gathering do as well, where we ground down as roots of a tree. Our body is very similar to the trunk, and then the energies coming up off of our body on the upper portions and out of the head are like the limbs and branches of a tree, and it expands out through the room or the space we're in, through air and sky. It goes out through atmosphere, through into space, and multidimensionally. It just keeps expanding into the oneness. Um, some people are very visual. I tend to be, so I visualize and see this as occurring. Um, Others, you can just think it or you can just know it. It's really important to find what works for you. There's no right way or wrong way. As long as you are following what works for you. If it's not working, um, you'll know inside yourself. You'll feel a pull, whether it's, I'm blocking myself, or I know that I'm capable of this visualization, and I'm holding myself back and not moving forward through it. Or you can evaluate and observe yourself, as the gathering and divinity speak about. Be the observer with that self-honesty and truth, and you can feel the energy. And when you let go expectation, when you let go limitations, when you let go comparing yourself to what others or what you think you should or should not experience, what's right, what's not right, all of that stuff, you just get out of the way and you just be grounded and present and observe. You kind of sink into the energy and the feel. As you do this, and it can take practice, so have patience and self-care and self-love, and realize that you're not necessarily going to get it the first time. That's totally fine. um, most most things worth obtaining require some practice, and then definitely practice to improve and to get skillful at. So even myself and other channels, we have to practice. When we get to a place where we're kind of haughty and we're like, I can just do this and go into the awareness state in a matter of moments, um, or the blink of an eye, uh, we can get haughty. So it's important to still take that time to self tune. By that, I mean being aware in ourselves, aware of the energy around us, and we all have room for improvement and growth and learning. So, um, once once you are feeling the energy, relaxing your body, like right now, I can tell I'm holding tension in my neck and my back and my throat. My throat's been having a lot of issues lately. I think because I'm doing these, I'm putting myself out there on YouTube, and um, I'm holding back in my voice. I can feel that, and so I breathe in the light, comes in through my crown, top of head, comes in through all my skin. It's always present. And again, as divinity and the guides say, the visualizations and the meditations are to bring our awareness to the fact that it's always present. It doesn't create it. It's always there. It's what we are and what we're made out of. So through that awareness, then I start becoming calm. I can say, okay, I can feel in here and moving down that I have attention. So I have the intent and the thought. I don't know if any of you who have third vision and abilities could see, but energy just came up out of my head when I released breath. Um, it was releasing this tension, and then here, and I can send in the light. If you do body work, energy work, you can use that. If you never have, same thing, it's always flowing through you, and we have the ability to direct that with our hands, with our thought, with our emotion. And then I imagine my throat relaxing and the chakra center opening through front and back, and all those blocks dissolving. And then just now I had the conscious thought, the intention, and I asked the guides to please help me in opening my voice, raising the vibration. It's been a bit gravelly lately. Um, Asking them to assist me in raising the vibration and the frequencies of my voice. I also feel that now going down into my heart center. So, right in the breastbone area. And I see this golden light. It just naturally occurred. And I feel that expanding. And then again, tension. Again, there's no right or wrong way. I breathe it. That's just what I do. I don't even think about it. When I am exhaling, I am experiencing uh, particles of this block releasing from me. And then I imagine that light going through. I see it breaking up. It just dissolves everything. On this note, the guides are telling me that it's a really good time to share that it's important to be aware of your thoughts and your beliefs. Uh, what is meant by this is, okay, say going back to I'm breathing into my heart center, I feel those blocks. At that point, some people may experience fear. They may not even register that it's fear, but there's, let's say, an apprehension of what's going to happen if I let go? Is there going to be something bad or something evil or something dark or, whatever words the individual is using or thinks in? A lot of these come from our past, our childhood. Now, if you are a child or if you are a young adult listening to this, uh, you're more immersed in that and what you've learned and integrated. As we age, we tend to put a lot of that behind us and bury it down and forget about it. And then we sometimes struggle with how are we to heal or transform or dissolve and let go these issues in us when it's not so complicated. It's a matter of awareness of the light, breathing the light in, and letting it dissolve. Um, if when you're doing this and you're being the observer, you become aware of some of those beliefs in yourself. I was raised in a very fundamental Christian family where love of God, God is this fearsome, punishing God, was very strongly taught. It never registered for me. Um, and I always thought, bull. Which is kind of weird as a little kid thinking that, but it just I thought, no, that's not accurate, um, which set me on my spiritual path uh, because I felt a very close divine connection as far back as I can remember. Um, I've always experienced that, and so one thing that I did learn from my mom and through church was to communicate with God. And so that's what I did. And um, I encourage you to do the same. The messages that you receive, you know, pay attention to the energy. Ask for the very highest light, the divine, to communicate with you, to assist you, the very highest light guides um, to be around you. And you can feel the energy. You can tell when you observe and when you sink in the state where you're feeling the energies around you. You can tell if something feels heavy and downward pulling, or maybe you feel frightened or edgy, anxious. That's not a great energy. So raise it up. Um, Sometimes, okay, and I'm being told to share this now. Sometimes we have where our guides are all around us, they're always with us. And that we still feel afraid because we have these shields or these walls, these blocks up of our fear. So you may or may not be aware of that. What I encourage you to do is to just ask that those walls dissolve, that you know and you experience the safety and love of the divine in your life, in your physical life, that you experience it mentally, emotionally, on the energy level, all levels. And when you have a very conscious thought, your intent, that firm decision, you align that with your emotion, your heart, you allow them to combine and to go out, and that removes those walls. Um, I know for some this is challenging. It's again, it's a process. You can do it. Okay, so I relax. One of the guides is doing some work on my back, back just below my shoulder blades, my chakra. They said I have a block there of some sort. They're assisting with that. Stubborn energy. I'm being stubborn. I am. I've been resistant in some ways, so they're assisting me. Before starting and turning on the camera, I asked for their assistance in helping me align and open. Okay, and then breathing. The energies run through every aspect of my body, moving in through my breath, through my skin, moves out through the floor. I'm grounded and connected with the earth, down to the earth heart center. It's a really awesome feeling too. I love it. It's love, it's pure divine love and happiness. It's good stuff. So doing that, sharing with Gaia, Mother Earth, and then outward, all blessings flowing out to the planet and everything in and on it. All right. Good, good. Now, moving up from the top of my head. Now, again, everybody experiences different. From the first time I started getting what I called knowings, it was before I realized I was channeling. Uh, when I first started, and I still often experience this, and it's such an awesome experience for me. I have, when I am expanding upward to connect with divine and the master guides, I, in my third vision, I see this giant book on top of my head. It's like a column of light just pouring out through the top of my head, like a huge beam, and this massive book that the light goes through, and the book falls open, and from it goes that light. I don't know, this could represent just for me the knowledge, the wisdom opening. Um, I've never looked into what it means. It doesn't really matter. Um, it's just kind of a neat, funny thing that I experienced. So, and then I expand my consciousness out. As I do this, I'm sending the intent. I have a very firm decision that I will open as an accurate, clear channel to the very best of my ability, connecting with the masters of the highest light and with divine source. I ask that divine guidance fill and move through me. I ask that I personally step aside so that my personal thoughts and beliefs do not disrupt or interfere. I ask that I be a very clear, flowing channel for the divine. I give gratitude and thankfulness and appreciation. I give permission for my frequencies, vibrations to continually fine tune. So I vibrate at the level and the degree that is necessary and required to be an accurate, clear channel of the divine and of the masters of the highest light. And then I relax into it. And I allow the guides to align with me, to assist me in aligning with them. I allow my body vibrations to physically increase in vibration, frequency. My heart is open. I'm grounded. I flow as a vessel. And then I wait for the guides to begin their message. Sometimes this can take a little while. It can take a few minutes, it can take seconds. I've had where it's taken like 20 minutes, even, or probably even longer. If I've been in kind of a funk or haven't done it for a while, back during those 15 years, I never completely stopped. It's just part of who and what I am. And so I I don't I can't, I don't think, turn it off. Um, but I didn't actively do it unless the guides called me or requested me to. Um, and at those points, it took longer. Occasionally, I'm told to say occasionally. That's true. Now, when I am doing a session with other individuals or a group or a class, um, the divinity and the guides, the masters often will bring their own students as well. It's really awesome. And we all fine tune and align together. So the masters are teaching their students how to assist the humans, as I am also helping the humans learning to align and work with the guides. Um, if it is not a class of that sort, then what is occurring is the energies of the room are increasing, the frequency. Sometimes people require energy work to be done on them to align, to remove blocks so they can hear. Some people fall asleep, they're just go unconscious. Um, and I used to teach meditation classes, and there was an individual who was very disturbed by the fact that there was a gentleman who always fell asleep um, almost immediately when the guides began speaking. I would wake up right at the tail end. And they mentioned this to me once, and I said, no, this is actually a really positive thing for this individual because it means they're getting their conscious self out of the way and they're just opening up to receive. And they kept returning, so unless they were sleep deprived, it was a good way for them to get a nap in. That wasn't the case though. It's important not to judge ourselves or others and to just let things be. Be concerned with yourself, our own growth. Other people, other people can learn to manage themselves without our help unless they ask us. We greet you with love, dear ones. We welcome you in this adventure, this exploration, igniting your interest, your creativity, and fueling your heart's muscles so that you can expand, so that you can explore more in depth of your ability to open, to align, to communicate with your guides and helpers, with other realms of highest light. We encourage you, as Heather Anayaya had said moments before, to focus on being the observer, stepping aside as you go through the meditative process, the aligning, and the grounding. Now, it's important when you are observing. Observing is to be free of judgment, free of harshness towards the self. It is important to be free of comparison to other individuals, other beings, other vessels. Fully grasping and wrapping yourself in thought and in emotion around the acceptance that each individual opens and experiences differently. And that in fact, as you continue on your journey, you will go through many different transitions. This is acceptable. It is desirable to be flexible. We encourage you to ground daily and throughout your day. Doing so in the manner that was detailed through much of our work thus far, allowing the divine essence to flow through, and with good intention combined with your heart, divine love flowing through, connecting with the earth and seeing the essence blending with the earth heart center and the energy there and flowing outward to benefit and bless and awaken all. At this time, this moment upon earth and ongoing, for it is nothing new, but there is the call, the need, the necessity to consciously take charge of yourselves, of your emotion, of your intention, and of full responsibility for what you place outward into the world and literally into your planet that is affecting and speeding up the destruction. Now, obviously, intention alone is not going to transform the world, the environmental disasters taking place, or outward through space and time. It is also mingled and meshed with physical action. But all things begin with essence and thought intent, combined with love, pure unconditional, divine essence, divine spirit. The more of you that practice regularly. And we apply this to our channel as well, encouraging her to set her alarm at work and at home, to stop what she is doing, to take a momentary break, and to ground, and to open as a vessel of divine light and love, flowing, moving, rushing, and gushing through, grounding it into the earth plane, seeing the positive effects going out and the vibration increasing and raising for all who seek it. We encourage you each to do this. Please, it is vital. It is vital to assist your fellow travelers and for wholeness reclaimed, restored, remembered. Do your part, your share. And the side benefit, well, the side benefit is that your life improves greatly. Depressions are eased, illnesses are lessened, dysfunctions decease. You learn and you retrain, and the things that you hold your intent on, your focus, and that you align with are brought clearer into your experiences. Now, there is much learning on this to be had as part of the adventure. But the reason we bring through these messages, not merely through Heather Anayaya, but through all the others, for there are those around the planet at this time opening or who have been bringing through the messages for quite some time. And if you look and you listen, you see the messages are the same. Different words may be used. It may be a different guide. It may or may not state divinity or the gathering or identify self as a master, but However, we work in conjunction, for it is an imminent approaching storm on the thought conscious level that ripples physically through the planet and through all in and upon her. We do not mean disaster. We do not speak to produce fear. That is unnecessary. But as creatures created of love, divine essence, light, sound, harmony, raise, raise your frequency, expand your consciousness, open your heart, breathe, breathe, breathe it in and through, and share. Share the awareness, share the essence and raise frequency as it moves through your form, every aspect of you, lit on fire with the life force, spirit, divine, divine essence. Some call it Holy Spirit. The divine awareness, also known as Christ consciousness, ignite yourself. You see in films and movies the individuals who have a grand experience of emotion, of joy, of happiness, of relief, and they throw their arms in the air and they throw themselves backwards into water, onto a soft surface, to this and to the light. It is a clear decision. And in mere moments, transformation can occur if you believe, if you open, if you allow it. And this raised frequency and vibration in yourself then moves outward like waves, goes out, rippling through all. Now, those on the planet who choose fear, who chose anger, who choose denser energy, it will, of course, these light frequencies, the higher vibrations move through them and they will be given opportunity. I spoke over the summer. The chasm is broadening, deepening. It is okay. It is important not to allow fear in. And we add on to this to be aware of the energy of what you read, what you hear, what you observe on your television, on your phone screen, through the radio, your podcasts, all the different layers and manners in which you take in. Ask yourself, is this raising and increasing your frequency and your vibration? Is this beneficial? Observe how you feel when you do this. We use Heather Anayaya as Heather, her physical form as example. Her thoughts say, oh, great. She is a fan of mystery. She does not like blood and gore. She asks that we share. She likes finding the solutions, the clues. And she has several programs through television or movie or podcast that she has enjoyed. And she has found that as she increases vibration, that they are not as satisfactory, as satisfying to her. And she has noticed that while or following viewing them, she is irritable, depressed, or jumpy, afraid, moody, sad. At first, she chose not to acknowledge this. So she was observing and choosing to look away because she likes these episodes. It's something she has done since she was a young child and shared with her mother and her sister. And her mother having passed, it is something she holds on to as a shared interest. But more recently, over the past several months, she's been unable to honestly ignore the effect that the energies have on her. And after the last attempt, she has decided to let it go. It is no longer pleasing to her. It has become, in a sense, painful to experience that drop in energy. We thank her for letting us use her as example. To be the observer, you can imagine as if you are walking around looking at yourself at the scene. You may ask the guides to assist you to be the observer of yourself. Ask the guides, what is it I am learning from this? Ask questions and continue to ask questions based on the answers you receive so that you have gained full information, full understanding. Again, with Heather Anayaya, when she learned this, when other guides and masters, Devian, assisted her years and years and years ago and Earth time. She learned to ask questions freely. And it, in a sense, taps in to the example of her we used moments before, of her quest to understand and solve mysteries, that inner sleuth. And it allowed her to grow and to expand and to learn about herself and to greatly increase her frequency, her understanding, her development, and remembering herself as spiritual being and oneness. We encourage you to listen to these messages together and to listen to where you are drawn for other resources. For we, the masters, as divinity and others, bring through messages to link together through many vessels. Pay attention to the essence, the energy. For if there is a topic you're seeking to learn on or skills, and you find one, say, in a book, on your computer, the internet, but the energy is limiting. Put out your intent clear that you receive the message, the teaching, the understanding, the growth, the development that helps you to align with highest light, that it comes to you with ease and clarity. And then listen to, feel the pull of essence. Sometimes you will find that you are pulled to, say, a video, to listen to and to observe, that you normally wouldn't follow that topic, but it speaks to you. You feel it. It's high, it's clear, it's direct energy pull, where your attention keeps turning to it. That is a calling. Listen to that. Now, if the pull is also downward or produces fear, ask and feel out that fear. Is it because of the energy or the information, or is it because of a block that you have, a prejudice, a judgment towards the topic, a fear of growth in yourself? You learn to distinguish. Think of when you are near an individual who frightens you. How does that feel compared to somebody that when you're in their presence, you feel uplifted and good? It's the same sort of thing. Everyone has this built in. Some, some of you have been taught as children, so sadly, to turn it off, to close it, to not trust it by your parents, by other individuals. But you are capable of fine tuning it yet again, perhaps even more so because of your past experience. Doing so this time with positive trust. We encourage you to practice. We encourage you to ground, to connect with highest light, guides, to follow these teachings, and to have fun. Shalom and peace be. We are the gathering.